Here is a brief introduction to Hinduism. Hinduism is named from the river Sindhu, that is the Indus River. The Persians who lived to the west of the Indus River called the people, religion and culture of the region around the Indus River and to the east of the river as Hindu. The actual name of the religion is Sanatana Dharma, the eternal and universal way. Hinduism allows diverse lines of thought and practices. It has almost no dogmas, covering a wide range like spiritual humanism, worship through abstract symbols, worship through nature, worship of formless, worship through human-like forms, worship through saints, and knowing the truth as pure consciousness. Hinduism allows people to have their own explanations and ways of life and worship. Also, followers are free to declare their own saints and gurus. This freedom is a characteristic of Hinduism. Vedanta is a system that is the best of all the various Hindu ideas and practices which have developed over a few thousand years, including yoga and meditation, and presents them as an integral system which suits people with various levels of subtlety of understanding. Vedanta was formalized about 5000 years back by sage Vyasa. Almost all of Hinduism being practiced for the past 1000 years is based on Vedanta only. Hinduism is a view of life translated into a way of life, which is the Indian culture. Hinduism and Indian culture are inseparable from each other. In this show, you can find a short introduction to the Hindu way of life and the Hindu view of life. Hinduism introduces 4 goals of human beings. The first 2 goals are common to animals and human beings. The second 2 goals are unique to human beings. The first goal is called Artha. Every living being wants to be secure and to propagate its species. This is called Artha. The second goal is called Kama. Every living being wants to pursue pleasure and avoid pain. This goal is called Kama. These 2 goals are common to animals and human beings. The third goal is called Dharma. One person's pursuit of Artha and Kama should not stand in the way of another person's legitimate pursuit of his Artha and Kama. Also, today's pursuit of Artha and Kama of a particular person should not spoil his future possibility of greater Artha and Kama. For example, if I like sweets, then if I eat lot of sweets today, then I'll be ill and tomorrow I won't be able to have anything at all. So it is wise to regulate my eating of sweets so that it is sustainable. The regulations and restrictions on the pursuit and indulgence in Artha and Kama to ensure equitability, that is, to make it available to everyone, and sustainability, that is, to be able to avail it in the long term, is called Dharma. Dharma is practiced as honesty, kindness, and self-control. These 3, honesty, kindness, and self-control, are the rock of every moral and ethical system. Honesty is called Satya, kindness is called Ahimsa, and self-control is called Brahmacharya. The 4th goal is called Moksha. Life will have ups and downs. Problems in life are inevitable. People need to be self-motivated to face them with cheerfulness. This is got by the conviction that real happiness is an inner attitude that does not depend on the presence or absence of external people, objects and situations. This unconditional happiness is always within. It has to be realized by knowing the real relationship between the individual and the whole of existence. This knowledge and a life in line with this knowledge is called moksha. And of course, the life based on dharma is a prerequisite for moksha. Let us find mind. Understanding the individual and the whole of existence is central to having the conviction that I am unconditionally happy. So Hinduism focuses on these two topics in detail. One is, who am I? The second thing is, who is God? Who am I? The individual is composed of 5 sheaths. The first sheath is Annamaya, the physical sheath, that is the physical body. The second is Pranamaya, the physiological sheath. All the involuntary activities in a living body like respiration, digestion, circulation, etc. all compose the Pranamaya kosha. Manomaya, the mental sheath. All sense faculties like vision, sound, smell, etc. and the faculty to have likes and dislikes forms the Manomaya kosha. First sheath is the Vijnanamaya kosha, which is the intellectual sheath. All faculties of action like holding, locomotion, speech, etc. and the faculty to evaluate right and wrong and the faculty of free will to make a decision, these form the Vijnanamaya kosha. The fifth sheath is Anandamaya kosha, bliss sheath. The subconscious mind, the memory, the various tendencies which we have and the stored potential results of past action, all these compose the Anandamaya kosha. These 5 sheaths form the individual. But real individual, one who has these 5 sheaths, he is the person called the Jiva who holds the free will. All the other 5 koshas are adjuncts. They are like instruments. And these let the Jiva to express in the world and to experience the world. The Jiva is the one who decides what to do, who decides the actions and attitudes. The Jiva is accountable for the actions and attitudes. The Jiva has to face the consequences of them. They cannot be escaped even from by death. This relationship between the Jiva and the adjuncts is illustrated in the Vedas by an analogy of a chariot. The road is the world. The horses are the senses. The rein which holds the horses is the mind. The charioteer who holds the reins is the intellect. And the master who sits behind is the Jiva. It is for the Jiva that the entire system works. And it is the Jiva who decides what to do, where to go, etc. To ensure a peaceful and prosperous life in the long term, 3 actions are given as guidelines for life. One is yajna. We are all indebted to various things in this world. We are indebted to nature, we are indebted to other living beings, we are indebted to other human beings, to our family and to our teachers. Paying back these 5 debts is called yajna. Deva yajna is taking care of nature, not polluting the environment, conserving electricity, conserving water, all planting trees, all this. Bhuta yajna is taking care of other living beings, being kind to them, and taking care of them. Manushya Yajna is taking care of other human beings. We take services from so many people in life. We should not exploit them. We should pay whatever is their due. We should also be kind to them. We should take care of social service organizations. We should donate to them. And during times of calamity, like floods or earthquakes, we should serve other human beings and also donate to people who serve them. All these come under Manushya Yajna. Pitru Yajna is our paying back our debt to our biological inheritance. So we have to take care of our family, parents, grandparents, children, grandchildren, and also we should take care of orphanages, old age homes, and donate to them. The fifth is Rishi Yajna, which is paying back to our cultural heritage. A human being is a human being and not an animal only because of the cultural inheritance, because of the science, technology, arts, etc. And paying back to these is called Rishi Yajna. We have to take care and honor and respect teachers, take care of educational institutions, cultural institutions. Also, we have to nurture knowledge. We have to learn, we have to develop, and we have to disseminate knowledge. All these come under Rishi Yajna. And beneficial action is dana, charity. We have to give with respect. We should not think, okay, we are in a higher position and the person receiving is in a lower position. To be able to give is a privilege. We have to thank the person who helps us to be charitable. To give with respect to the people who need without expecting anything in return is called dana or charity. The third beneficial action is tapas, discipline. Honesty, kindness, self-control, cleanliness, contentment, study, all these things form the tapas or discipline. These three, yajna, dana and tapas, are guidelines to lead a dharmic life, and they have to be followed by everyone. We come to the question, who is God or Ishwara? Ishwara is the technical term for God in Hinduism. Now we saw 5 sheaths. At the level of every sheath, the individual is not separate from the whole. For example, the physical body is not separate from the physical universe. The physical body originated from the physical universe. It exists in the physical universe and it is going to dissolve back into the physical universe. It is only a temporary, nominal existence, and the individual existence of the physical body is only temporary, nominal, and conventional. Similarly, the individual mind is a part of the universal mind. Every idea that we have, every knowledge that we have, comes from someone else, from some other source of knowledge in the world. And by discussion, by teaching, it goes back. So the individual mind is a part of the universal mind. Similarly, life, intellect, everything, at every level, the individual is always a non-separable part of the whole. This whole of existence is called Ishwara. Ishwara is that person to whom the entire physical universe is the physical body. All the minds of every individual put together is the mind. And the entire existence is himself. Just as there are numerous living cells in our body and each cell is a living being in its own right, similarly, all the living creatures are a part of Ishwara. Thus, serving the living beings is the best way to serve and worship Ishwara. At every level, the Jiva interacts with the Ishwara every moment. If you consider the individual and the universal, every interaction is between the individual and the universal. Depending on the context of the interaction, Ishwara, the universal, responds. For a healthy, positive and grateful attitude towards life, the universal Ishwara is worshipped. To enable this worship, Ishwara is personified. When the Jiva is considered as a living being, Ishwara is considered as that which supports life, like the sun, that is Surya Deva, or the Mother Earth, the Bhudevi. When the Jiva is considered as a student, Ishwara is personified as Saraswati, the goddess of learning. When the Jiva considers himself as an Indian, he considers Ishwara as Mother India, Bharat Mata. Whenever the Jiva considers itself as the doer of action, Ishwara is considered as the bestower of the fruits of the action. When we start a work, Ishwara is worshipped as Vigneshwara, the Lord of obstacles. When taking bath in the Ganga, Ishwara is worshipped as Mother Ganga. Thus, the universal entity is called by different names and is worshipped through different forms depending on the context. Ishwara is also the pure consciousness that is present within every living being as the sense of I. All yajna, dana and tapas should be done by the individual jiva as an offering to the universal Ishwara. Develop this practice and attitude, formal worship of Ishwara through any form by offering flowers, fruits, water, light, incense, etc. is practiced. To drive the idea deep into the mind, meditation is practiced. Hinduism has developed detailed principles and practices of various kinds of worship and meditation to suit people of different temperaments. Each person can pick any of the various forms and procedures as their favorite one for regular worship and meditation. By these ideas into the mind and life of people, various stories based on historical and legendary characters and incidents are popular in the Indian culture. Stories in the Vedas, Puranas, Ramayana, Mahabharata, anecdotes in the life of various saints, stories told by various saints, etc. help people understand these principles. These stories also help to form a personal emotional relationship with Ishwara. These festivals and places of pilgrimage are connected with these incidents and characters. Celebrating the festivals and visiting the places of pilgrimage remind the people of the principles and help imbibe the ideas. The rituals related to personal events like birth, start of schooling, marriage, death, housewarming, birthday, etc. are all reminders of these principles. Indian classical art forms like dance, drama, music, painting, sculpture, etc. are all based on these stories and characters. Hinduism shows a way to people to lead an honest, kind and peaceful life. The central themes of Hinduism are universal accountability and the individual being an integral and inseparable part of the universal. Hinduism gives freedom to people to come up with various schemes of life to cater to these two themes. So Hinduism allows other religions, atheism and agnosticism, to thrive and cater to the needs of its followers to help them to lead an honest and peaceful life. Unfortunately, today, the exclusive claims and aggression of other religions and even atheism are pushing Hinduism to become defensive against them to survive. Hinduism and its daughters like Buddhism is perhaps the only religion that meets the criteria of a modern social institution: progressive, decentralized, humanist, democratic, rational, pragmatic, non-dogmatic, encouraging asking questions, non-compulsive, non-exclusive, customizable, pluralistic, self-improving, etc. It is because of this that it is called Sanatana Dharma, the eternal and universal way. Now let us look at some of the frequently asked questions. Does Hinduism support discrimination based on birth, popularly called the caste problem? Hinduism does not support discrimination based on birth, that is jati. The Hindu scriptures only talk about division of people based on character and profession. Divisions based on birth is a social problem which is prevalent among most Indian societies irrespective of religion. Almost all Hindu leaders in the past several centuries have fought against discrimination based on birth. The situation has improved a lot over the years. The reason for prevalence is more political than religious. Hindus worship many gods? No. As you might have seen in this presentation, Hindus worship one supreme God who is immanent and transcendent. Based on the context, God is worshipped through various forms, names and procedures. Hinduism also says that people of all religions worship the same God through different forms and names. Thus, Hinduism is actually more monotheistic than the so-called monotheistic religions. Hindus worship idols? No. Hindus do not worship idols. They worship God through the images. Just as how citizens of a nation show respect to the nation by saluting the national flag, Hindus worship the omnipresent God through symbols. All religions, sports events, businesses, universities, they all use various symbols like names, sounds, forms, icons, direction, etc. The human mind needs symbols to operate. Hindus worship cows. Cow has been very close to Indian society for a few thousand years. Also, the cow is a very peaceful, docile, smart and loving animal. It yields milk, dung and urine, which have lot of uses. It has elevated the cow to a high status. Kindness to cow is considered as exemplary of kindness to all living beings. To the Hindus, cow is one of the popular symbols of God. Hindus believe in rebirth. If the concept of free will is accepted, then the entity that holds the free will has to be accountable for the exercise of free will. As actions can be done even at the last moment of life, a post-death existence becomes the only logical possibility to face the fruits of that action. Thus, all religions believe in post-death existence. As there are differences in the situations at birth also, Hinduism gives a logical proposition that there should have been pre-birth existence also. Thus, rebirth is a logical consequence of acceptance of free will. Free will and rebirth have to go hand in hand. What is meant by Om? The word Om is a symbol of Ishwara. It is composed of three parts, A, U and A is the basic sound. It uses the innermost part of the human sound producing system. U uses the middle part of the human sound producing system. Uses the last part in the human sound producing system, the tip of the lips. Thus, these three sounds represent all the sounds that a human being can make. Thus, Om is a word that represents all the words, all the sounds that a human being can have. As Ishwara is all that exists put together, naturally, Om becomes the sound symbol of this concept of Ishwara. Further seeking to know more about Hinduism, you can visit the nearest Hindu institutions like centers of Ramakrishna Math, Vedanta centers, Chinmaya Mission, Arshavidya Gurukulam, Divine Life Society, etc. You can also read the articles and online books available at the website practicalphilosophy.in. Thank you. Hari Om.